Hello, this is your Math Wiz Watson, and my goal is to empower you. Let's evaluate expressions. Before you can evaluate expressions, you will need to know the following: how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. We're going to be looking at two different types of expressions. The first is a numerical expression, and that's simply an expression with numbers and an operation in between. In this case, you see 20 times 2, so we're using the operation multiplication. And so when we evaluate this expression, we see that 20 times 2 is just 40. And so that's how you evaluate a numerical expression. The second type of expression that we're going to look at is a variable expression. A variable is a letter that represents a number or numbers. And so a variable expression is any combination of numbers and letters with an operation. And so the following is a variable expression, x plus 3. We see we have the letter x, the number 3, and the operation is addition. And throughout this entire lesson, we're only going to use those four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So for this example, we're going to let x equal 4. So we're going to set x equal to the value of 4 here. And so what we're going to do is something called substitution. That is, wherever there's an x, we can replace it with 4. And that is the substitution property. And so that becomes 4 plus 3. Now we evaluate that using this addition, so that's just 7. For those of you who get it, you can stop here. But for the rest, I'm going to continue on and do some more in-depth examples and some word problems. So feel free to pause the video and try the following example. I'm going to take 35 minus x. And we're still going to evaluate this at x equals 4. So what I would do is 35, I'm going to substitute for x, so that's minus 4. So that's just 31. And feel free to pause the video and try the following example. I have 20 over x, and x is still equals 4. Evaluate it. So what I would do is I'll go 20. I'm going to do substitution. That is, replace x with 4. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. So once again, a variable expression can contain more than one variable. For the following examples, we're going to let a equal 9, b equal 3, and c equal 18. So we want to solve the expression a minus b using these values. A is 9. I'm just going to substitute minus b, which is 3. 9 minus 3, 6. That's evaluated. So a minus b equals 6. Feel free to pause the video and try the following example. I have BC. Okay, BC is b times c. So that's just 3 times 18. So 3 times 18, 54. And feel free to pause the video and try the following example. I have c over a. So once again, we substitute. That's c divided by a. That's 18 divided by a, which is 9. 18 divided by a by 9 is 2. So for the following examples, we're going to go into how to write a variable expression for a word problem. The quotient of 72 and a number. So I want to show you how to do these and make it simple. Quotient is division. I break it down like this. I break it into parts. Quotient is division. We see 72, that is, as is, and a number. So a number is a question here, but I'm going to make that the variable x just to keep it simple. We often go with x. So we have the quotient of 72 and a number. Now let's put that together. So we have a quotient of 72. That means 72 is on top, divided by x. So if it was a quotient of a number and 72, then it would be x over 72. But in this case, it's a quotient of 72 and a number, so we know it's this example, 72 over x. And so the key to problems like this is to be patient and break it down and understand these terms like quotient. That means division. And we're going to have terms like more than, less than, times, divided by, product. So it takes a little bit of thinking to understand those concepts and break down these word problems. But once you see a few of them, it should be pretty easy. So feel free to pause the video and try the following example: 14 more than a number. So I look at more than, I see that as plus, 14 that is as is, a number. Once again, let's just stick with x to keep it simple. So 14 more than a number. Now this is tricky. It says more than, so that means I'm going to put the 14 on the other side, even though it doesn't matter. It says more than, so I'll put the 14 on that side. But either way, it's going to be correct if you put 14 plus x. So if the wording was just 14 plus a number, then I would have just written it as is, so that you can see the little difference there. So feel free to pause the video and try the following example. Let's break it down. Product, that's times 62, that is as is, and a number. We're going to make that x, keep with the same thing. So we have the product of 62 and a number. So that's just, we combine this just as 62 times x, or just 62x. So let's look at one more. Feel free to pause the video and try to solve this one. We're looking at a number. So once again, a number. I'm just going to make that x divided by, we know what that is, that's division, and 33. So that's a number divided by 33. I can write this as x over 33, or I could write it as x divided by 33. So that's evaluating expressions. If you really want to get ahead, you'll work plenty more of these problems until you really get it. And that's the tricks I always use to get ahead of the class. I worked a lot of examples, and the best time to work them is right away. So don't wait. If you're still a little shaky on the concept, do a number of these problems right now. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Please like, subscribe, share, support.